While the Prime Minister insists he is still committed to achieving net zero by 2050, this has prompted an angry backlash from some of his own backbenchers who have warned it'll be his greatest mistake. And the Commons Speaker, Lindsay Hoyle, has also reprimanded Rishi Sunak, saying that such a major policy shift should have been announced while Parliament was sitting. Joining me in the studio is motoring journalist Quentin Willson. Thank you for coming, Quentin. And down the line, TalkTV's international editor, Isabel Oakeshott. I'm going to ask you both the same question. I'll start with you, Isabel. Why like this? Why in this COVID-style announcement? Why right here? Why right now? What's the point of it all?
Well, quite simply, this is political pragmatism and a significant degree of panic. I mean, look, the polls are truly dreadful for the Conservative Party, and net zero is not a popular agenda. It may be popular amongst the intelligentsia and the dinner party crowds in London, the elite, but it is not popular amongst Conservative Party grassroots voters who can see that the agenda is costing them and will continue to cost them a great deal of money and inconvenience. And what Rishi Sunak is doing here in this incredibly momentous speech, actually, is trying to inject some sense of balance back into the policies. So he's not saying, actually, I don't agree with any of this. This isn't quite what David Cameron notoriously, allegedly said about ditching the green crap, having actually launched his own leadership campaign on a green agenda. It's not as far as that. But actually, the announcements that are being made are pretty seismic and will be very, very popular, I think, with many swing voters, perhaps just pulling back from the precipice, the Conservatives' absolutely disastrous poll ratings.
All right, now, before I ask what you think of what he said, I want to know why you think he said what he said and why he's done it in this way in this public address from 10 Downing Street, and why right now on this rainy Wednesday afternoon. What's he doing?
Well, it was leaked, so, he's got no choice but to do this. He's been talking to his cabinet for a while, and also, significantly, to a coven of backbench fossil fuel supporting right-wing MPs who have put enormous pressure on him and on certain newspapers. So he's been backed into a corner, and it's a failure of leadership here, Vanessa. There's been an outrage all afternoon from car makers, from the Society of Motor Manufacturing Traders, from Ford, from the entire green sector, from Chris Skidmore, the head of the Climate Change Committee, saying, this is going to make us an international laughingstock. And what it means is that people like JLR, people like Ford, people like Stellantis, they won't invest in the UK with this policy uncertainty, with this flip-flopping. And we had nearly 10 billion of investment announced for electric cars over the summer. Now what happens to that? So he thinks he's being democratic. What he's doing is just playing the electioneering game and hoping this espousing the motoring cause will get him those all-important voters